Welcome back, guys, to another session of Daniel's Security Academy. Today we are going to talk about security news we have in October 2022. And I want to say sorry for not uploading last week. So I was sick and was gone for vacation. So yeah, I missed last week's video, unfortunately, but I'm gonna make this up with this video. And one more thing before we jump into the actual video. I know you're gonna hear this quite a lot with every YouTuber right now because it's like something everyone is using, but actually like more than 80% of the viewers of my past videos are not subscribing to the videos, to my channel actually, sorry. And especially for me, who has like, I think I have 105 subscribers right now, it is very helpful to get new subscribers and bump up the numbers. So yeah, I would really appreciate if you would leave a subscription on my channel. And yeah, thank you so much already for whoever is doing it now. Let's talk about a few different news we have during October, which I've found on several security news websites I'm browsing usually. And yeah, maybe let's go through of some of them and let me know if you know more news which happened in October or are important to know. So first news is, again, we have a Microsoft Exchange 0 day. And we actually have 2 0 days now. They were found by like a Vietnamese group called GTSC. And they also claim that they have seen active attacks since early August 2022. So it's been a while already since being actively used. And the focus is especially on on-premise Exchange servers. So not the cloud Exchange servers where Microsoft is kind of pushing the customers towards to. No, it's the on-premise Exchange servers. And the first vulnerability has like a server-side request forgery vulnerability. And the second one is a vulnerability allowing remote code execution when PowerShell is accessible on the system by the attacker. So chaining both attacks together can be a very powerful attack on Exchange servers. Mitigation is already posted by Microsoft already, and by the time this video is probably online and on YouTube, it's hopefully already fixed. Yeah, I'm sorry for the delay of the video. It might cause some deviation between what is currently already announced by people or by companies and what I'm actually talking about. So yeah, I'm a little bit sorry about this. The second news I have is ransomware is on the rise again. The NCC group released some data showing that ransomware attacks were rising significantly again in the past months, especially in the summer months. And this has to do a lot with that there are a lot of ransomware as a service groups and services available in the dark web, which makes it very convenient for people to launch their own campaigns, ransomware campaigns, and get their money. So I think the most dominant group we have seen, and also related ransomware we have seen because it's named after the group, is Lockbit. I think we're on the third version, Lockbit 3.0, and it's pretty much the most prolific ransomware gang in especially July 2022. So most of the attacks seen in July were from Lockbit, but there's a few more other groups as well doing a lot of attacks, especially like going August, September, October. Spring this year was a pretty heavy month for ransomware attacks. It slowed down a little bit afterwards, like in May, in April and May, but it went up again June, July, and especially from July to June, I think we had an increase of almost 50% more attacks. So we definitely see a strong trend growing up to the last quarter of the year, and yeah, that's always bad. Third, we have phishing campaigns just continue to work as they did in the past years. We had some targeted attacks on companies like Twilio or Cloudflare with some phishing attacks where the focus was on getting the user credentials, the Okta credentials of users, as well as their MFA codes on those targeted companies. And the campaign is called Octopus. You can imagine Okta as one of part of the target, and Octopus like octopus as the animal. So quite interesting name here, and it seems to be a very, very successful approach so far. It is expected that these attacks were just like phase one infection attacks, and they want to get deeper and do maybe some supply chain attacks behind the actual targeted companies. So there's a lot more to see what is happening now and in the future. But they have been very successful with many companies being hit. And they also hit DoorDash, for example, just after some incident reports were published and some data were published about the group. DoorDash just announced that they found a very same pattern and marks, which we refer as an octopus attack. So I think it's in total like 130 companies already being hit by the group, and the number is still growing. And we do expect to see more targets, and we have to still see how they will go into phase two. What are they actually going to do? Will they do like ransomware attacks? Are they going to do whatever kind of campaign? So we need to be staying tuned for this one. Fourth news, I brought a critical vulnerability found on Fortinet products. I do bring this kind of news in here because I was personally affected by this vulnerability and had some work to do around this one. So there are also a lot of other vulnerabilities out there happening in October, but this one is actually quite significantly because it has an initial score of 9.8 from a scale from 1 to 10. This is quite a lot, but it was downgraded by Fortinet to 9.6. So 0.2 lower than the initial score, but still 9.6 is quite a lot. And it's also a critical severity called FortiOS, FortiProxy Authentication Bypass on administrative interfaces. That's how the vulnerability is called. And it's pretty much an authentication bypass using an alternate path or channel vulnerability in FortiOS, which is the operating system of Fortinet products, FortiProxy and FortiSwitch Manager, that may allow an authenticated attacker to perform operations on the administrative interface via specially crafted HTTP and HTTPS requests. What does this mean? An unauthenticated hacker can go via the administrative interface into the Fortinet products and change configurations, get data, whatever they want to do. Pretty much they are kind of root on the device. Fortinet itself also states that they are aware of an instance where it was actively exploited, the vulnerability, and definitely recommend everyone to immediately react and validate the systems, patch the systems to a newer version. They released several versions, both for the both active trains of their versions. So they have the 707 for the 7.0 train and the 7.2.2 for the 7.2 train of the firmware right now. So those are fixes for the vulnerability, and Fortinet pretty much addressed this issue with all the customers and partners beforehand. So before they actually were releasing the details about the vulnerability, getting going public, they approached the customers, and the parties gave them some time to patch the systems before actually going viral on this one. Fifth, we have the Mirai botnet is still active and was attacking a lot of different victims again in the past quarter, in the third quarter of the year. And this time did a record high attack on the Minecraft server. So Cloudflare stopped this kind of DDoS attack from the Mirai botnet with a 2.5 terabit volume in the DDoS attack, which targeted a Minecraft server. It was called Windcraft. I'm not playing Minecraft, so I have no idea if Windcraft is somewhat an important and big server. Apparently it is, because it is worth taking such a huge attack towards the server. So probably it is somewhat a well-known server in the Minecraft community. The attack used UDP and TCP floods pretty casually. It lasted about 2 minutes. This is what we usually see with those kind of huge volume attacks. They last only for a short period of time. And the Minecraft server itself didn't feel anything in the end. It didn't realize that there was an attack going on because Cloudflare was able to filter it out. Of course, Cloudflare was also the guys giving out this report, so they would probably only give out the positive news about it. So yeah, they did a great job also in marketing here with the report. But also Cloudflare reported that multiple attacks with more than 1 terabit were observed in Q3 of 2022, which is kind of significantly, because 1 terabit is a lot of traffic. And usually we have seen like once in a quarter, like those peak shots of DDoS attacks, but now we're seeing multiple ones in 1 quarter. And yeah, with the record high of 2.5 terabit on the Minecraft server, it's quite a lot. And we have a 405% increase of the Mirai botnet attacks compared to quarter 2 of 2022. So the Mirai botnet is still very active. It is very dangerous, and it became maybe more active in the past months now. Going to the 4th quarter, let's see what the numbers will be when I'm gonna do this security news in January and talk to you like how it developed in Q4. Okay, last but not least, I have also brought some news about the cryptocurrency hack of Binance. I guess most of my viewers are aware, or at least somehow aware about cryptocurrencies, because it's usually something where IT folks are interested in, or at least have studied a little bit into it. So Binance is, I think, the biggest exchange on provider on the world, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong here. And we've seen already an entire year, and also starting last year, a lot of cross-chain bridge attacks being established and run against some of the cryptocurrencies. And this time, $570 million worth of cryptocurrency was stolen in, I think it was early October this year. So just a few weeks ago. And Binance announced that they will share all the details of postmortem, all the lessons learned of this attack, and how to adapt in the future. But this is still to be proven by the company. And one of the founders of the Ethereum network really criticizes those cross chain bridges because he notes that they have a fundamental security limitation, and they will always run into those kind of attacks and will be vulnerable against those. So this has to be seen if this cross-chain attacks will continue, or if providers will react with those and shutting down those bridges. It's still to be determined how we are going to proceed with this one. In the past, on all the 13 known cross-chain bridge attacks, there were more than $2 billion stolen Most of the parts was done in 2022, but as I already said, it already began before 2022. But yeah, major part is stolen this year. And the Binance Smart Chain community is pretty much discussing right now the next steps and like freezing the funds of the stolen cryptocurrency, and a lot like a bounty to find and catch the hacker. So we're still staying tuned to what they are deciding and what's going to happen with the funds. But yeah, it's not the first time this kind of hack is happening. We've seen multiple of those in 2022. Also, not just the cross-chain bridge attacks, but also like that funds or wallets were stolen from huge exchanges where millions of dollars were stolen. Okay, that's it for today for the security news in October 2022. Let me know what you think about this kind of format that I do, like a monthly video about some security news, what's happening in the industry, what kind of vulnerabilities we have seen, what kind of campaigns are running, where we need to put some eyes on. Yeah, let me know, give me some feedback, and I really hope to see you in the next videos. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to give me some support. I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, stay safe and bye-bye.